Colorado Springs has seen an unprecedented real estate market lately after a long brewing housing shortage, which was escalated by the pandemic. And it was also caused by the 2008 housing crash, whatever you want to call that time, where builders stopped building for 10 years. That negatively affected what inventory was available for the ever increasing demand for housing here in Colorado Springs. I'm going to cover in this video year-end real estate statistics, a market overview of 2023, predictions for 2024, the Federal Reserve rate cuts, and the economic progress and city growth plans for Colorado Springs. Let's get into it. We have had historic lows in home sales, and again, this trend started before COVID came into the picture, but once COVID happened, it drastically reduced what was being built at that time, and therefore what is available, part of influencing what's available today. At the end of December 2022, the average sales price in Colorado Springs was just over $472,000. Now, at the end of December 2023, the average sales price has gone up to $487,000. That is a 3.2% increase in home prices here. Meanwhile, the total number of listings in December 2022 was at 1,866. For December 2023, at the end, it was 1,752. So that is a 6.1% decrease in available listings in Colorado Springs for that time. So I've pulled info all the way from the beginning of 2015 to show you what the number of sales and the number of listings has looked like in our city for that time. So the green line represents the number of active listings and the blue line is the number of sales. You can see back in 2015 we were coming off of a pretty good build time. From 2012 and on is when more action was happening in the housing market, more was getting built new construction wise, and then we start to dip a bit in terms of the number of active listings from then on all the way to 2020, and then it really kind of goes further down at that point. It's not until we get into summer of 2022 where we start getting a bump up again in new construction, which causes a lot more of new inventory that's available for sale. And then in the blue, the number of sales has been fairly consistent actually over the past several number of years, and that has to do with the high demand of being and living in Colorado Springs. It's a wonderful place to be. I like it. So you've got consistent sales for all of that until you get to the end of 2022 into 2023, where it has decreased just a bit, not a lot, where there's still demand here, but you're seeing the effect of higher interest rates taking its toll on the market here. You'll also notice that it has gotten increasingly more difficult for home ownership affordability. You got to have a higher income, and the average income is a bit harder to do in Colorado Springs. You're going to need to make at least, I would say, $150,000 a year total household income to be able to afford purchasing a home in this market in Colorado Springs right now. The population of Colorado Springs also continues to grow. Right now, in 2024, we are at 495,361 people. We're just under 500,000 people right now. That is a growth rate of 0.78% per year, and we've had 3.15% increase in growth since 2020, since the last census. Home ownership trends that I've been seeing and that I did see in the past few years was you had a lot of homeowners who decided to stay put. They decided that they weren't going to move. It wasn't worth it for them to deal with higher interest rates, and they would rather spend the money on remodeling, upgrading the home that they already have. Some people did move, and they moved to other states, Florida, the Carolinas, just anywhere that happened to be cheaper for them or had some family there that they could live with. At this point, you're not really seeing the multiple offers that we were seeing in 2021. The summer months of 2021 and 2022 is where the list to close price went over 100%. You were at 103, 104% sometimes. So, meaning that you would get 3 to 4% more than what you were listing it for because the competition between other buyers kept pushing it up. And you have had that in the Colorado Springs market. Even back in 2016, 2017, you had that going on a bit, but it escalated even further in 2021 and 2022. Now I'm not seeing that as much, although if your home is move-in ready, if there's no deferred maintenance and it's just ready to go, usually you're going to entice multiple offers from that. But on the whole, that kind of market has died down for now. You may see it again this summer. This spring and summer, you may see that multiple offer situation come back, as I'm expecting more buyers to come into the spring and summer market once they have seen that the interest rates are not likely to move up or down very much from where they're at now. And so these buyers commit to actually making these purchases in 2024. I have seen different real estate companies make these predictions about what they think home prices are going to do, where a home price is going to be at the end of 2024. Are they going to come down? I've seen predictions of prices dropping 1%, 2%, but otherwise it hasn't been a huge drop. I've also seen predictions where we may come up another 5% in home prices by the end of 2024. But this is to say that real estate is local, and these are national numbers that we're trying to predict. For Colorado Springs in particular, I am expecting home prices to continue to appreciate throughout 2023, even with the higher interest rates. Now, as far as the Federal Reserve's plan to have rate cuts in 2023, the market has already baked that into the current interest rates. And right now we're looking at anywhere between 6.6 and 6.9%, depending on what stats you're looking up for the interest rate. So we're already at that point for what is likely going to continue to be that way for a good amount of 2024. We may see a little bit further decline in interest rates, but I'm not at all expecting us to get to in the 5%. In our local economy, we have a lot of people who have financial stress right now. It's not just nationally. There are the households that are making $150,000 or more per year are likely doing fine here in Colorado Springs' economy and housing market. But if you're making less than that, especially if you're making under 100,000, it's going to be a lot more difficult to find affordable housing here in the city. You've also got increased job growth here, at least for the higher end paying jobs. So where you're seeing that job growth is typically in aerospace, cybersecurity, defense, and technology. Apart from the growing new construction communities for residential homes, you've also got the Space Force, which is now permanently located here. You've got the expansion of the Colorado Springs Airport, and then you've also got the Sunset Amphitheater coming up, as well as you've got some proposals there's a 12-story office building and a 36-story apartment tower that are both proposed for downtown Colorado Springs. Other job growth that's been happening specifically in Colorado Springs is you've got Meyer Burger with their new solar panel array, which is going to create 385 new jobs. You've also got Infinity Labs. They're going to have 60 software analyst and developer jobs coming to Colorado Springs. You also have continued commercial growth in our city with the new construction, the new residential communities that you've got going on. You've also got commercial that starts filling in the pockets to be able to address a lot of the needs of the new people that live there. Other businesses that you've got going on is the Treehouse Cafe, which is set to open sometime this year. I don't know when, but it's going to have a large enough space to have community gatherings and to be what it sounds like maybe a third space. And then you've also got, I believe, 9 new restaurants that are opening inside the Colorado Springs airport. So growth has been, and will continue to be happening here in Colorado Springs. One thing that I am predicting that we're going to continue to see is hailstorms. And if your vehicle is caught in such a hailstorm and you've got damage and need it repaired, I have partnered with KJS Auto Hail Repair, and that's your go-to spot for fixing hail damage on your vehicle. So if you give them a call or head over to their website at kjsautohailrepair.com/contact, there'll be a drop-down box where you can mention that you were referred by me. If you do that, you'll get $100 back at the end of your hail repair process. KJS Auto Hail Repair has over 30 years of industry experience, so they can have your car looking brand new in no time at all. So again, if you're interested in checking them out, go to kjsautohailrepair.com/contact and let them do the rest. So as this market continues to change and grow in economy, and then the market itself starts to shrink, there's a lot of changes happening. And so we've got to be able to adjust to that and figure out how to continue to navigate this real estate world. And it comes down to there is an ever increasing demand and a supply that has a very difficult time catching up. There is not a lot of room for investment properties here in Colorado Springs to be able to make that ROI work. So when you're purchasing something here in Colorado Springs, I would be focused on having something that's a long-term hold. So likely where you're living in it. Again, there's not likely going to be too much ROI to be able to do investment decisions here. If you want to dive deeper into the housing market statistics here for Colorado Springs, I've got a video up here, up there somewhere. It's going to come in one of those corners that you can watch more of these details in this data and figure out how it pertains to the decisions that you want to make. If you have any comments, please put them in the comments box down below. My name is Kevin James Bond. I'm with RE/MAX Real Estate Group, and I'm happy to help you with all of your buying and selling real estate needs. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.